Today on Hopped Up, we're going to be reviewing Best Brown Ale by Bell's Brewing in Comstock, Michigan. All right, welcome to Hopped Up. Thank you for joining us today. I'm Ben, there's Jay, and there's Andy in the attic. Today, we are going to be taking a stab at Bell's Best Brown Ale, and that is a mouthful for sure. Andy, what can you tell us about the Best Brown from Bell's?
Oh, the Best Brown, it's an American brown ale. So it's going to have like a malty flavor to it, toasty, caramel, cocoa, all in there. It's 5.8% ABV, 34 IBUs. So it's by Bell's Brewery out of Comstock, Michigan. I'm ready to dive in.
It's a little hoppy for a brown, isn't it?
Well, things I've seen IBUs, not always indicative of the hop flavor. So maybe another episode we can nerd out about some the international bitterness units.
Let's go. All right. I'm thirsty.
Let's crack it.
I do like the bottle cap. Yeah, you knew I was going to say something about that, right? The owl. So very, very neat.
Andy in his head.
Yeah, they have a different little owl for most of them.
And I see on the bottle it mentions a shelf life of 6 months, which is good to know.
It's about standard for, I think, a brown, isn't it? I mean, most of your IPAs you don't typically want to go 6 months. A lot of your old ales, they can go for years.
Right. All right. Cheers.
Cheers, mates.
Cheers, mates.
Cheers, mates. Has a great smell and taste. Very rich for a brown.
It's considering the color, you'd think it's going to be a stronger malt taste, but I think they do a pretty good job balancing it out with the hops, putting enough hops in there.
Yeah, that's going back to Jay's kind of question earlier about the hoppiness for the IBU level. I do taste some of those hops coming through.
Yeah.
So I'd say for me, it's a little more hoppy than it is malty.
Yeah. I wonder if that's why they classify it as an American brown ale. But you still, you get from the smell and the taste and the aroma, and the taste, you still get that malt character to it,
Yeah, it's definitely still there.
With the cocoa and the caramel.
Yeah, those flavors and notes pick up very well.
Another thing I learned about Bell's. So, we mentioned on a previous episode, they started 90 or 85. And it was like a homebrew supply shop at a Kalamazoo before they did the actual brewery in Comstock. But and they were sold in 2021 to this Lion company. It's called Lion out of Australia. They deal with alcohol production, I guess, not just beer, but other spirits. But this company also owns New Belgium out of Colorado. I didn't know that either.
I didn't either. Great research, Andy.
The internet.
It's all out there.
Good and bad.
Yep.
Yeah, this is gonna be out there. So see if it's good or bad.
Good and bad.
Viewers, do not Google Andy's head.
All right, so let's go forward and rate this. Has anybody not had this before? Did we determine that, Jay? So this is a new one for you.
It's the first time,
so, yeah. So as is our custom here, if this is a new beer for one of us, then they go first in the ratings. So, Jay, what do you think?
Let's see. I like the notes. It has a great flavor, great smell. They put it at a solid 7. It's something that, like, I think Andy and you and I have talked about. Typically, when we get to 7, it's something we would definitely drink again. So that's kind of where it falls for me.
Yeah.
Okay.
It kind of tricks me a little bit when I taste, because you see the dark color and I'm like, okay, it's a brown. I want to taste that malt and that caramel, more of the sweetness, and then then I'm get confused because you get that you don't really taste a lot of hops, but you can sense it there, and so it changes it. When I get something like this, I'm like, I want that malt, I want that brown ale, and it's not bad. It's just again, it confuses you, and does not meet the expectation. I will definitely drink it again. I'll give it a 7.5. Because I like browns, I like it all actually, but it's confusing to me.
Yeah, and I think that's where I was going with the fact that I mentioned that I get some of those hops coming through. I definitely wouldn't necessarily expect it in what would be considered a brown ale, and maybe that goes to the part as you mentioned, Andy, the fact that it's American brown ale. I don't know. That's something for us to check and see if that's some sort of designation that separates what we see here from maybe other brown ales. I think because of that, it's different and it's kind of odd for me. I don't like it as much, honestly. The fact that it does confuse me. I'm going to go with a 5 on this one, honestly. I think that, again, it's, if somebody hands it to me, I'm obviously going to drink it, but it doesn't fit, since it doesn't fit in that kind of mold, if you will, of what I'm expecting when I get it, I'm going to rate it lower for that reason. So that's where I stand on this one.
Yeah. Yeah. It kind of, confuses the palate and the mind and the palate don't connect on it. It's kind of like black IPAs. If you've ever had one of those, there's not that many out there that I've tried, but the ones that I've tried, it's like, you expect one thing and you taste another, and it's, I can
Those are
understand
so
that.
good though. Come on, man.
I didn't say I didn't like it. It just confuses the old brain and the mouth aren't on the same page there. Yeah,
it's kind of that false visual.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that's interesting, man. I mean, I can understand that. This is probably why I like it a little more. Is it does have that hop side to it. So
yeah, and I think if this came across, if this was, let's say, an IPA, right? If we had, not that it has enough hop for that, but if it was, that was the taste you got out of it, then I think my thoughts would probably be different. If I go into this expecting to drink an IPA and I get some of those hop notes, then I'm going to like it a little bit more potentially. But that's just my take on it.
Yeah, I can see it too, because you lean more towards the browns, the stouts, porters, less from the IPA, and then you get this, you're like,
yeah, I'm like, who put the different beer in my bottle here before? So
who made this one brown?
All right, so that gives us a 6.5 for the best brown from Bell's Brewing out of Comstock, Michigan. All in all, I think it's again, as we mentioned, it's kind of a little deceptive in what's delivered versus what's expected, and so that's where our rating falls on this one. If you enjoy what we're doing here, we'd appreciate you supporting us by liking, subscribing, cheersing that notification bell so you can get all our videos going forward. And we will catch you guys next time. Appreciate you watching this video, and cheers, mate.
Yeah, cheers. Nice seeing you again.
Yep. Enjoyed.